You know how certain smells, like cinnamon or pine, can just instantly transport you somewhere else?
Oh, absolutely.
We just started digging into our sources for this deep dive, and I swear I can already smell the vanilla. It's like I'm right there in this perfectly decorated living room.
That's the feeling, isn't it? And that's exactly what we're trying to decode today. The sources we have are fantastic. There's this really natural dialogue between two friends decorating a tree.
Right.
And then there's an expert analysis that just breaks down everything, the vocabulary, the cultural notes, all of it.
Exactly. And that's our mission today. This isn't, a big history lesson. This is the practical stuff. We want to give you the exact phrases and the cultural details you need to talk about the holidays with total confidence.
It's the shortcut, really. And we have to start with the most important word, the one that sets the whole tone.
Cozy.
Ah, yes. Cozy. It's everywhere in the source material.
It is, and it's more than just warm or comfortable. I mean,
Yeah.
yes, a sweater can be cozy, a room can be cozy. But the sources point out it's more of an emotional thing, right?
Precisely. It's about a feeling of security, of domestic happiness. You can have a cozy moment or a cozy conversation. It's this word that immediately signals a positive, safe atmosphere.
A very powerful word. So, okay, we've set the cozy atmosphere. Let's get into the nuts and bolts, the actual phrases you use when you're helping someone.
Right. So you walk into a friend's house, they're decorating, and you want to help. What do you say? The simplest structure is, where should I put these ornaments?
I love that. Where should I put? It's so useful for everything. Your coat, a dish you brought over. It's polite and it gets you involved right away.
And speaking of atmosphere, the sources highlight a specific verb. If you're using a candle, you don't turn it on.
You light it.
You light it. The phrase, I lit a Christmas candle, just sounds so much more authentic, past tense, lit.
Okay, but what happens when you get confused? I mean, decorating can be chaotic. Someone says, put it on the upper branch, but you're not sure which one.
You just ask for clarification. Keep it simple. The dialogue shows them doing this perfectly. Just ask, sorry, did you say upper or under?
Or left or right.
Exactly. It shows you're listening, not that you don't understand the language.
And once they answer, you need to keep the conversation going.
All right.
You can't just stop.
And the perfect little bridge for that is just, what about you?
Simple.
So simple. They tell you where they want the red ornaments. You can say, okay, great. What about you? Do you have a favorite spot for them? It just keeps that back and forth rhythm alive.
I also love that little motivational phrase they use. Keep going. You're doing great. It's just so warm and encouraging.
It is, and it ties back to the main point of the analysis. Communication over perfection. Just speeding is doing great.
Okay, let's move on to the actual words for the decorations themselves, the specific vocabulary.
Right, so the general term for all the little things you hang on the tree, the stars, the balls, the ribbons, that's ornaments.
Christmas ornaments or
Okay.
tree ornaments. Got it.
But the dialogue brings up a really interesting cultural point. The shiny round ball ornament. This is what we're calling the bauble debate.
A bauble. That sounds so fun.
It does, doesn't it? And in British English, that's a very common word for it. A bauble.
But if I said that to my American friends, they'd probably just look at me funny.
They might. In the US, you'd almost always hear Christmas ball. Or maybe bauble, but even that's becoming a bit less common. So bauble is great to know, especially if you watch British shows, but be ready to clarify.
Good to know. Okay, let's talk about lights. The source mentions a polite way to say you think they're a bit too strong.
Yes, the key is to soften it. Instead of saying, the lights are too bright, which sounds like a demand.
You say they're a little bright.
Exactly. That little addition changes everything.
And you can use that for anything, really. The music is a little loud, it's a little chilly in here, it keeps things, cozy.
It's a critical tool for harmony. And what if the lights are, like, blinking way too fast? The phrase you need is, switch the mode.
Ah, switch the mode. That makes sense. Like
Yes.
on your phone, you switch to silent mode or airplane mode. It's a universal tech language.
Precisely. And if bright is strong light, what's the word for that soft, warm light everyone wants for Christmas?
That would be dim.
Dim. It's such a useful word. You can talk about dim lights, but you can also use it as a verb.
Right. You can ask, can you dim the lights?
Or say, let's keep the lights dim. It's much more specific than just soft or low. It instantly communicates that you're going for a relaxing vibe.
And the final touch on the tree topper. The sources mentioned the classic choice between a star and an angel,
And they made a point of saying the angel feels more traditional.
which is a subtle nod to the religious roots of the holiday, I guess.
Yeah.
The angel connects to the Christmas story, while a star is maybe more of a general symbol of celebration.
Exactly. It's a nice, simple way to ask someone about their own family's approach.
Okay, so the tree is done. Now for the really exciting part. Opening presents. The sources show this is done so differently depending on where you are.
Yeah, we found two main traditions. First, there's the anticipation model. You open just one small gift on Christmas Eve.
Like new pajamas.
Right. And then you save the big pile of gifts for Christmas morning.
Which leads to, as the sources say, total frenzy. Kids waking up at 5 in the morning, just buzzing with excitement.
That's one way. But the complete opposite is the late night approach, where a family stays up and opens all the gifts right at midnight on Christmas Eve.
I love that contrast. And it's such a great conversation starter, isn't it? To explain that in your family, you all stay up late together, it's a memorable detail.
And we can't talk about presents without talking about stockings.
Right. And these aren't just regular socks. They're the big, decorative ones you hang up.
And what goes inside them is just as important. They're called stocking stuffers.
Yes. The small, usually inexpensive things. Candy, little toys, funny gadgets.
They're sort of the appetizer for the main event of gift opening. And this brings back that key verb we learned earlier. You hang the stockings, just like you hang lights and hang ornaments.
Good connection. Okay, from gifts to the main event for many people, the food. Christmas dinner. The sources lay out some big differences between the U.S. and the U.K.
They do. In the U.S., dinner often looks a lot like Thanksgiving dinner. You'll see roast turkey or ham, mashed potatoes, maybe some mac and cheese.
Hearty, classic comfort food.
But the UK Christmas dinner is much more specific. Of course, there's turkey and stuffing, but then you have these very particular side dishes.
You mean the pigs in blankets?
Some mandatory pigs in blankets. And for anyone listening, that's not what it sounds like. It's small sausages wrapped in bacon. They're a huge deal.
Okay.
And then, of course, there's the Christmas pudding.
The famous pudding, which is not what Americans think of as pudding at all. It's more like a very dense, dark fruitcake, right?
Exactly. It's made with dried fruit and spices, and it's often served with a thick brandy sauce.
And sometimes it's on fire.
Yes. That's the most theatrical part. It's often doused in a bit of warm brandy and lit on fire right before it's served. It looks incredible. Mentioning that shows you really know the culture.
And one thing that seems to be shared is the gingerbread house.
A fun, messy, delicious activity for the whole family. Definitely a cross-cultural tradition.
So moving on, let's talk about the most practical takeaway from all of this. How do you actually use this to talk about your own life?
There's one simple sentence structure that is just perfect for this. In my family, we. And then you just add your tradition.
In my family, we open presents at midnight. Or, in my country, we eat a special fish soup on Christmas Eve.
It's so clear. It frames your experience as your own personal tradition, and you don't have to worry if it's the right way to do things.
And if you're in a group setting, like at an office party, you absolutely need to know the rules for Secret Santa.
Right. You pick a name from a hat, buy a gift for that person, and no one knows who got them what.
And the sources note there's always one person who buys a joke gift. Always.
Always. And the other game is White Elephant. That one is all about the joke gifts. The whole point is to bring something funny or weird.
And you can steal gifts from other people, right?
Yes, that's the key rule. It can get very competitive and chaotic. It's all about the fun of the exchange.
We also saw that sending Christmas cards is still a really big deal.
A huge sentimental tradition. It's a way to connect with people you haven't talked to all year, just to say, hey, I'm thinking of you.
That's a really nice tradition. Now, what about navigating the real world, like transactions? The sources had a great tip about holiday tipping.
This is a big cultural thing, especially in the U.S. Around the holidays, it's common to give an extra tip or a small cash gift to people who provide services for you all year.
Like your mail carrier or your building's maintenance staff.
Exactly. It's a gesture of appreciation for the whole year.
And if you're out at a cafe with friends, you'll definitely hear this one question from the cashier.
Is it together or separate?
A crucial question.
It is. Together means one person is paying for everyone. Separate means you're each paying for your own stuff. Knowing that saves you from that awkward frozen moment at the register.
Finally, the sources acknowledge the holiday has, sort of, a dual nature.
For some people, it's a deeply religious holiday focused on church and the birth of Jesus.
And for many others, it's completely secular. It's about Santa Claus, decorations, food, and family time.
And both are completely valid and respected. Asking someone, how do you celebrate Christmas, is a wonderful, open-ended way to start a real conversation.
Okay, wow. We've covered so much ground here. Let's do a really quick recap of the most valuable things you can use immediately.
First, you have the word cozy for the feeling and the atmosphere. You've got the difference between an American Christmas ball and a British bauble.
You know how to politely say something is a little bright.
We covered the difference between opening presents on Christmas Eve versus Christmas morning.
And you could definitely talk about a UK Christmas dinner, complete with pigs and blankets and a flaming pudding.
And most importantly, that structure. In my family, It's your key to sharing your own story with confidence.
So here's our final thought for you. Right now, what is your Christmas tradition? How would you explain it using that simple "in my family, we" structure?
And which one piece of vocabulary we talked about today, maybe asking someone to dim the lights or explaining a stocking stuffer, which one will you be ready to use in your very next conversation? Because that's where fluency really starts.
Go out there and have a truly cozy, informed conversation. Thanks for diving deep with us.
See you next time.